So we've been seeing a lot of stuff about layoffs. I saw something that said like we had more layoffs this year than we had in 2024. So I found an article that said what's behind all these tech layoffs. From Intel to small startups, tech layoffs have been on the rise. Our expert examines what's behind these layoffs and the state of the industry. Yeah, so here it is in the first line. This year has already seen more layoffs than all of 2024 combined. Specifically in tech, headlines speak to 1,000 cuts here. Mass reductions there, as well as constant warnings about AI's displacement of workers. While the reductions in the workforce draw most of the attention, the reality behind those headlines is more complicated. For one, layoffs are not always a sign that a company is failing per se. Particularly in today's economy, layoffs have often been a reflection of companies recalibrating after periods of rapid expansion, rising costs, and shifting strategies. And yeah, I'm glad that said that because there's a video I came across on YouTube, and the guy, it's like, I gotta find it. It's a good video, and the guy was talking about like the truth behind like all these layoffs and the plays of like they're kind of like putting the wool over your eyes, like it's not what it seems type of stuff.
I don't think it's because people are not performing. I don't think it's because companies are doing bad. It has nothing to do with that.
They're what making like market like profit margins or whatever and just laying off. So tech layoffs this year tell a broader story about the industry's adjustment to pandemic-era growth, AI-driven investment, and economic headwinds that affect firms differently but push them all toward similar workforce reductions. So four factors driving tech layoffs. The first one is slow growth leads to downsizing. And I'm not going to like read all of that, but it says for starters, tech companies overhired during the pandemic, which is true. Firms ramped up hiring to capture demand from remote work, e-commerce, and digital transformation. In some cases, they were hoarding workers, just facts, to keep top talent away from competitors in anticipation of a rebounding economy that never fully saw the light of day. That's facts. There are videos, if you type in there right now, people who are working at the FANG companies that said, hey, I was here and I wasn't doing no work. They literally hired us so Netflix wouldn't hire us, so Meta wouldn't hire us, or so Amazon would hire us.
And didn't take advantage of it.
They couldn't. Some of them, it was like their first jobs. Think about how many people's first jobs were in some of those FANG companies in 2021.
Yep.
The AI-centric reshuffle. AI may not be taking jobs, but it does play a role in the story. For now, most tech workers aren't being directly pushed out by AI tools. Instead, companies are cutting costs to free up billions for AI infrastructure and research.
Bada boom, bada bam. That is the truth.
That harkens back to what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Some of the largest firms, including Intel, Salesforce, and Big M, have made significant layoffs as part of their efforts to invest in AI. However, this transition has been messier than anticipated given the large energy expenditure and expense that comes along with the generative models and massive new data centers. Adoption of AI tools have been uneven, with many workers using them as supplements and companies struggling to identify ways AI can be integrated into workflows at scale, which is facts. Yep. Like a lot of companies are trying to keep up, but they don't know what they're trying to keep up with.
I was just about to say the same thing. A lot of people are proactively, to me, laying people off, saying they're going to do this with AI, but they don't even really know what they want to do with AI. They don't have people who are trained to do said thing with AI. And on top of that, running AI in your environment, big or small, it still costs a lot of money.
Yep. Some companies have also found that breaking up with their employees for their AI fleeing was not the best business decision. After observing declines in AI, agent customer service quality, and bad implementation, firms reshaping their workforce this year has been less about automation, eliminating jobs, and more about companies reallocating budgets and gearing up for what they see as the next era of growth. Facts. I hate the AI customer service people. They trash. And this one is another unreported aspect of the layoffs puzzle with skills. Firms are cutting headcount while also reshaping their workforce. Employees with outdated or less proficient skills are often first to go. With AI advancing, it is not always clear which new roles will be in demand, but some trends are obvious. Routine administrative tasks are the easiest to automate and are quickly disappearing. I agree with that. In addition, retraining is time-consuming and expensive, and many firms favor employing new talent with the expertise they need at the current moment. Global sources of recruitment, including H-1B visa programs, can often provide high-demand, specialized skills at a lower cost than retraining domestic staff, which I don't really agree with. It was a guy in the comments from the podcast last week, and he was talking about how he knows he's training his replacements, and these people obviously lied on their resumes because he said they don't know what they're doing, and these are I guess they're like offshore people. And then the last one is economic pressures. Beyond company level decisions, macroeconomic forces are at play. Inflation has been chipping away at salary budgets and investments all year. Employees have been settling into their roles and prioritizing internal mobility rather than job hopping. However, higher input costs for companies squeeze margins and payroll is one of the most flexible expenses to cut. The ebbs and flows of the job market has put all employees on guard despite their foolproof strategies. In a higher interest rate environment, borrowing is more expensive, which slows down expansion plans and forces companies to get creative on how to get more out of their workforce to remain profitable, even if that means trimming the edges. Investors who were once willing to fund growth at all costs are now demanding more disciplined spending.
That was a good read.
Yeah, so that's, to sum it up.
I think it's more too. We can throw a couple other things in there as well. It's a lot of things that are going on that are causing the layoffs. And I think that this is the new climate that we're living in.
I think the AI boom is going to peak, and then they're going to have to bring some people, like for certain companies, like we talked about before.
For sure, absolutely, for certain companies, and then you have the people who are still going to continue to try to figure it out. I think, if anything, you should have AI. If you want to have AI in your company, if anything, you should be thinking about user productivity. First thing first, before we start talking about and building other stuff, are your users able to be as productive as they can?
Nah, facts. And then I say that also because of the administration. Based on everybody don't like what they do, but they are making it harder for them to hire people from overseas at cheaper costs.
Did you see how much they was saying that the visa was going to cost?
$100,000, I believe. Yeah, because you could just pay.
Do you know how talented you about to have to be to get that now?
I don't think so. I think you might as well just hire the person at $80,000 for it versus trying to bring in the person for the lower pay.
But the workers will finally probably start to get that pay that they deserve, quote unquote, deserve if they're skilled. Yeah,
I agree.